Today's a good day. I finally finished my trip from Michigan City, Indiana, and I'm in Edmonton, and I decided I had enough of my truck, so just booked a hotel just for one night. And of course everything here is expensive. This is a Super 8, which in Cambridge, Ontario is about 70 bucks. You go to any place in New York, I mean in US it's probably $35, but here it's $100, and that's a discounted rate because I'm a trucker. I was afraid to ask what the regular rate is, and I was talking to the freight broker, a friend of mine who works and lives just south of Edmonton. I said, when are you moving to Ontario? He said, never, because this is where the money is. Well, yeah, the money is here, right, but everything is expensive. I don't know, except gas. Gas for cars and diesel is cheaper than in other parts of Canada. But Jesus, what a trip! You know, that logbook screwed up all my plans, and here's an example where this stuff, you know, like honestly, I don't believe in logbooks. I mean, I do them, but I really don't believe that they serve the purpose of safety. You know, like this is not safe. Like, how is it safe if I have to drive 677 miles a day? Why? Because on the previous day I only had 4 hours left, right? And then my hours started adding after that. But I mean, I felt fine, but I would have felt better if I could drive maybe 6 hours on the first day, you know, and or 7 hours and more hours on the next day. It's just that it's so much politics in this, you know, like it has very little to do with safety. It's all just big associations, big fractions, you know, fighting each other over these hours of service, and it's just a pain in the ass, you know, let me put it straight. And today I had to, so yesterday I drove a whole day like a maniac, but I'm surprised I didn't feel too tired. And then this morning I figured I still had like 522 kilometers, you know. Australians know what I'm talking about. That's a big number. That's like, what is it? So 60 miles per hour, so it's like over 300 miles, you know. And I figured I have to wake up at like 5 o'clock. That's what I set my alarm clock, and it's like pitch dark, you know, in Saskatoon, and I'm the only idiot on the road. There's no one there. Like, you can hardly see anything. There's snow, but at least there was no drifting snow like yesterday. But it was weird. I drove maybe like for 2.5 hours in total darkness, you know. And some cars would, you know, they would catch up with me, and then they would just hang on my tail, afraid to pass for like half an hour, you know, just driving 10 meters behind my bumper. Really weird. And then some trucks started showing up. Maybe when it like half an hour before dawn, and when they pass you, there's snow on the shoulder, and when they pass you, you cannot see anything. There's like a cloud of snow. It was like really chilling. So I was really glad when it became light. And the funny thing is that actually that's why so many people live here. You know, that's why Alberta is more populated than Saskatchewan and Manitoba, because climate here is much milder. Like I'm in Edmonton, and Calgary it's even warmer, but right now it's +2 Celsius, which is what, 35 Fahrenheit. And when I left Saskatoon, it was -11, which I think is what, like 10 Fahrenheit or -5 or whatever, but it was cold, you know. So as soon as I started going west, it became warmer. And so I just unloaded maybe like, you know, 5 minutes from here, and I remembered that there's a Flying J here. And if you can see that yellow truck in the distance there, there's hardly any parking here, and I don't like those dump trucks, you know, they always park and they have B-train trailers. I'm always scared one of those will back into me when backing, you know. But they gave me a sticker. I said, where do I park? Like a parking, you know, validation sticker. And they said, put it on your window. So that's what I did. I put it on my driver's side window, and my truck is still having problems. I still, even when it warmed up, the temperature of the coolant was still at 170 degrees. And I removed all those mats at the suggestion of the trucker from Washington, because I don't want to damage my charger cooler. You know, it might get too hot when you have those mats on. So I threw them away, especially since I knew they would be warm here. So what else? Oh, I came in, so when I came to load on Friday in Michigan City, people were, well, actually they were happy to see me because they said I was the last truck to load, and they were really impatient. And remember, they forgot to give me the manufacturer certificate of origin. But I got out of there, right, because they all wanted to go home on Friday. It was a short day. Now, in 5 hours, like I did this 522 kilometers, guess how many times I stopped? Well, if you guessed once, you were correct. So I stopped once in North Battleford, Saskatchewan, for 10 minutes to get coffee, so that not to fall asleep. It was still dark. It's like there's no sun. It's like, seriously, like probably 3 hours I drove, like with nothing, you know, like pitch black, like in the movie, you know, pitch black. So I stopped once for 10 minutes, and then I drove, like 4 hours without stopping after that, because that first stop was like after 60 miles, you know. North Battleford is just an hour away from Saskatoon. But I checked my load, and everything was good. And then, but what I'm trying to say is that I come here, and I was trucking, no stopping. Yesterday I worked all day, right? And I show up at this rental place that bought these compressors, and the guys are like, oh my God, you know, like, we're not very happy to see you. I said, why not? Oh, we're going home in 40 minutes. I said, 40 minutes? Come on, I've been driving like maniac past 2 days, and you're not happy to see me, you know, like 40 minutes, that's a long time. And those guys had trouble with the gooseneck on one of the trailers, because the one that was sticking out in the back, the shipper had to undo some bolts and flip it up, you know, to make it shorter. Now these guys couldn't unscrew it back and put it back together so they can hook it up, but it took them like maybe half an hour to fight that thing, and then maybe 5 minutes per each compressor to take it off, basically back to a dock. And the guy came with you know, that zoom boom thing, and it had an attachment on the front with a pin for that, because that gooseneck on the compressor had like a ring, you know, like a small pickup trailer has, right? And he just hooked into it, and he just dragged it off my trailer, and he signed the paper, hey, Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas. So, but I'm just saying that delivery during these, you know, holiday times can be stressful, because everybody wants to go home. Nobody, you know, is happy to see you. That was my point. But that's it. I'm done. Now I can relax. I still have to send my paperwork to Landstar, but I'm not in a rush, because today is Tuesday and my cutoff for the pay is Monday, so I'm already past. So they're not going to pay me tomorrow for this trip, so they're going to be paid next week. So forget it. Now I'll just go to there's a restaurant on the first floor. I still have a movie here, you know. I'm gonna watch this one. I got free internet. I have lots of TV channels here. Oh, we have 52. Oh, that's not bad. As long as they have one of the, they got speed, all right, and they got. I watch movies. That's all I do, you know, and sometimes news. But you know, I'm a movie buff, right? That's why I have the YouTube channel. Okay, where's movie slides? Okay, Discovery Channel, forget that. Oh, Movie Central on Core Avenue 2, Spike TV, American Movie Classics. That's for like, if I was like 200 years old, that would be great. Space sometimes has nice movies. Oh, the Comedy Network. All right, I like stand-up comedy. But now it's time to get something to eat. My breakfast, I guess, or what they call it, brunch. I only had like one nut bar with one green tea and one coffee. That's it. So, and tomorrow, basically what I'm doing, in case American drivers are watching, in Canada, there's one rule that's different from US hours of service. In 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, you must shut down for at least 24 hours. You know, like in US they don't have this. In US, you just, as long as you do 70 hours in 8 days and take half an hour break, within the first 8 hours of each day, you're good, right? And then you can do a reset. But in Canada, we have 70 hours and 7 days, so they give you more hours, but there's one trick that you got to shut down for 1 day. So basically that's what I'm doing. I unloaded at 12 o'clock Eastern time, or what is it? No, 1 o'clock Eastern, so 11 local. So if I start driving tomorrow at 11, I'll have 24 hours and I'll be legal in Canada, because I think today is tomorrow is the last day when I am supposed to do this. And tomorrow is gonna be one big adventure. Even though it's warm now, I think the snow will start melting, but tomorrow I'll have to go this way, west. This is north. I have to go west into the mountains, like real mountains, and cross into British Columbia, and then go south, just maybe like a mile south of the border, near Vancouver, where my next load is waiting for me. A big oversized 49,000 pounds, and I'll have to order permits. But then I'll be going with that load. I'll be climbing some big mountains on the way east, and I'll be going back to Chicago and then back to Ontario. This is going to be my last load for the year, and I'm going to shut down, and for 2 weeks I'm going to focus on screenwriting, because January 11th I'm going to a class in New York City to study screenwriting. I want to finish a movie that I started on my laptop. It's about truckers, of course, kind of like a comedy. So I don't need any particular instruction, I need motivation, because I started reading books, and then after a while people say, oh geez, it's impossible to break into Hollywood, you cannot get your script read by anyone, so forget it, just a waste of time. So I lost motivation, so that's what I'm doing. I think the main reason you attend classes, especially like live classes, when I'm going to be driving in my car 500 miles to New York City, and the school was going to be like the high school, they're renting some space there. I said, do you guys have parking? Because this is going to be Saturday. There should be some parking. The guy says, well, I'm not sure, there's a couple of garages down the road. Weird, New York City, right? It's one big problem, parking, so I'm still trying to figure that out, where to park my Mazda. Well, at least it's not a Ford F-150. I only need very little space. But that's what I'm going there for. I'm going for motivation, and then I'm going to take probably like 2 weeks off in January and focus on that. Do my script, but I'll have to buy the software, Final Draft. So, well, that's a quick update from Edmonton, Alberta. I'm Sergie Dratchev. Thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas.